What is up guys, Munash here, and today I'll finally be doing my very first account tour. So I started playing the game in August 2015 and then I took a break a year later and came back in November 2016. Then I started taking the game a little bit more seriously, but I only started playing at a really high or competitive level in July 2019. That's when I joined DSVG and started the YouTube channel. Let's start with my profile. I'll show you the stats and everything. Okay, so I have 625 heroes or champions with a 1.5 million rating. Prestige is just over 11,000, and so in order of prestige, it's actually first Nick Fury, because I did dupe him a few weeks ago when I was opening my season rewards for season 19. So he is now SIG level 56, which makes him slightly higher than my rank 3 Doom because he's only 36. And then from then on it goes, I believe it should be, 5-star Doom, who's SIG 200, and then it's Namor, and then Captain Marvel. Then it's only Red Guardian at 6th, but his PI is higher than the others, so that's why he's there. Okay, I've done my fair share of duels, and let's just check the titles. I got a lot of titles. I've got the vast majority of them. Just a few that I don't have, the main notable one being the Legend title. That's mainly just because I'm just not really that interested in spending thousands of units on easy content just for a title, so maybe if they give a Legend title for like more efficiency of item use, then yeah, I'll probably go for that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not really interested in rushing through content for a title. Okay, Alliance War MVP. Oh wow, 207. Is that a lot? I don't know, it seems like a lot, but either way, Alliance War is a team effort, so not really a huge deal. I've done my fair share of quests. That's generally what I do in this game. I don't do much arena grinding anymore, to be honest. Like, my highest streak, 362, was a few years ago, which was the only time I went for a featured 4-star champ, which was X23, and I put up about 9 million for her. Yeah, but that was, I think, in 2017, in January even, so yeah, right now I barely grind arena. It's very rare to actually see me doing arena. I'm only doing it now for the 5-star shards from this new 2-star arena. But yeah, I'm just not really a fan of it. I just found it really boring, and I don't really need the golden units right now. Okay, let's move on to the champs, and I'm going to talk about 1-stars to 6-stars, but I'm not going to spend too much time on the 1-stars. Spend more time talking about the 6-stars and the 5-stars. So I've got almost every 1-star. I'm just missing Iron Man. And I actually got Vision today from one of those crystals you get from the new arena. Then Deadpool, I bought him a few months ago. What was it, $1 or $5 I think? Just because I don't have Deadpool in any other form, so I figured why not. Okay, 2-stars, I've got quite a few of them maxed, although there are so many that I actually don't have just because I don't really collect them. So I haven't really been putting in any effort into acquiring those crystals where you get all these more unique 2-stars that aren't in the standard 2-star crystal. So yeah, there's quite a few that I'm missing, but they're just 2-stars, so not really bothered about that. With 3-stars, I've got the vast majority of them. The only ones that I'm really missing are the newer ones, like 2020 champs, then the few exclusives such as Deadpool and Classic Vision. Oh, and Stealth Spidey. Okay, 4-stars, it should be pretty similar, missing more or less around the same amount as the 3-stars, mainly the newer champs and then a few of the exclusives. And I generally don't really max 4-stars anymore because I like to save my resources, especially the gold for, 5-stars and 6-stars. The only ones I've maxed recently, it's not even recent, it was actually late in 2019, was Doom, although I actually did manage to use Doom in Abyss of Legends, so I actually did need to have him maxed. Clairvoyant and Sunspot. I'd say the rest are probably all from 2018 or earlier than that. Okay, now let's move on to the 5-stars, and this is where things get a lot more interesting. Okay, so I think I have about 23 maxed 5-stars right now, and actually I'm gonna speak about them in order. So my first was Blade, and wait, actually no, my first was Star-Lord. He's not rank 5 right now, but he was my first rank 5. So what happened was Act 5 Chapter 4 came out, and then I explored that thing the week it came out with my 4-stars, and then I used the generic Awakening Gem on Star-Lord, and then around the time of Christmas or towards the end of the year, he got some rank down tickets from Kabam, sort of like a Christmas present, and so what I did was I took Star-Lord to rank 5, Then I did 6 parts in Abyss, so I already did the easy path with my 4-star Star-Lord, I think in April 2017. And then later on, fast forward now to December 2017. So I maxed Star-Lord and I did 6 parts in 6 days, and then on the 7th day, he rested and I ranked him down. Because I wanted to use the tier 5 basic on a champ that's going to be a little bit more meta-defining. So then in February 2018, we got the Blade featured 5-star crystals return. And I only had 30,000 5-star shots. So I got 2 of these crystals and I pulled Blade twice. So yeah, I was pretty lucky there. Also back then, the featured crystal was a lot better, as in you actually had about a 22% chance to get the featured 5-star from his own featured 5-star crystal. So yeah, I got Blade and duped him at the same time. Then I took him to rank 5 and I was pretty happy about that because he also had pretty good prestige and he was just a really good champ back then. And then a few months later, I think it was in May or June of 2018, I duped my 5-star Hyperion, then I took him up to rank 5 as my second. And to this day, he is still my favorite cosmic champ in the game. Still use him quite a lot, very versatile champ, a lot of different ways to play him, just an absolute unit of a champ. He's aged very well and he still does a lot for me today. So yeah, I love my 5-star Hyperion. Now fast forward to early December 2018, this was just after I explored variant 1. I had a Tech Awakening gem and I used it on Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. Then soon enough I got the tier 5 basic and I took him to rank 5 and he was my third. And so yeah, I still really enjoy playing this champ and he does put in work for me in various pieces of content such as Act 6 and variants. You know, I've always ended up using him in pretty much every single variant. He's been pretty useful. Now we're gonna fast forward until April 2019, and this is around the time when Act 6 Chapter 1 came out and Variant 2. So I completed Act 6 Chapter 1, and then I explored Variant 2. Then after exploring Variant 2, I got a Cosmic 4-5 gem, and I used it on Corvus Glaive, so he was my fourth. So yeah, I also took him up to 600 more for Prestige, and yeah, he did a lot for me in Act 6 Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. But then when Chapter 3 came out, I started using him a lot less because of the health pools there. Mainly because I just don't run suicides, so now I mostly just use him for Alliance quests. He still puts in a lot of work for me there. And just general questing such as Uncollected or other event quests. And then on that very same day, I also took up Quake to rank 5 with the tier 5 basics from Variant 2. And yeah, Quake is just one of those champs who's revolutionized my gameplay. And I could probably talk for hours about Quake, how much I love this champ, how much he's done for me, how many thousands of units he saved for me. I mean, everyone knows Quake is just an absolute beast of a champ. And in my opinion, the best champ in the game. So yeah, I absolutely love Quake, and she was my 5th rank 5. And the main reason why I didn't take her to rank 5 sooner was because I felt like she was really still extremely powerful as a rank 4 5-star. So I felt like champs like Stark Enhanced Spider-Man and Corvus needed the rank 5 more than she did. When I started exploring Act 6 Chapter 1, I felt like a rank 5 Quake would be, you know, a lot more safer, just a lot better, and finish fights a lot faster. Okay, and then let me just skip to the 6 stars, because I remember my next big rank up was actually a 6 star, because after exploring Act 6 Chapter 1, soon after that I pulled Symbiote Supreme. And I took him up to rank 2 just as Act 6 Chapter 2 came out because there was the champion fight and it was just really good for that. So yeah, he was my first rank 2 6-star, took him up unawakened. Still really enjoy using him for those really high buff matchups. Yeah, he just shreds those, and overall just a very useful champ to have for those specific matchups. Not a champ that I use every day or perhaps even every week, but when I use him, damn, I'm just so happy that I have him, because you know, he's just one of those champs that really shines for those ideal matchups. Arguably the best buff control champ in the game. Okay, moving back to 5 stars, just after Act 6 Chapter 2 came out, I pulled a 5-star Domino, and I was really happy about that because at the time, she was my favorite mutant, so I took her up to rank 5 with the 4-5 gem that I got from Variant 1. And she put in a lot of work for me in Act 6 Chapter 2, especially with the synergies, Red Hulk and Massacre. So yeah, unfortunately now I just don't use her that much because, you know, the whole synergy thing, also just because I feel like I have more reliable champs that can do sort of similar stuff that she does. Okay, and then my 7th rank 5 was, I believe, who was my 7th? Oh yeah, my 7th was actually Aegon. So now it's July 2019, I just finished exploring Chapter 2, and then I moved alliances. That's when I joined DSVG. And that's when my account started to really grow, because now I'm getting a lot better rewards and stuff like that. Because, I mean, before that, I was only doing Map 5 and Alliance Quest Tier 5 in my previous alliance. So yeah, after I moved over, I was getting a lot better rewards and even had a lot better luck, funny enough. Like, literally the same day I joined, I pulled Aegon, and then I awakened him. Also, I must mention, I also used a class gem on Domino, Corvus Glaive, Starkenhorn Spider-Man, and Quake. Although Quake was more for prestige. And then I pulled Aegon, and yeah, I used the skill gem on him, and then I tested him out in Variant 3 at the time, because it just came out, and at rank 4, you put in a lot of work, and that's when I sort of like saw the value of him beyond just being a Labyrinth champ. And I even started using him in Alliance Quest and Alliance War. He was actually quite good for thing bosses as long as you can ramp him up. But yeah, Aegon has seen a lot of value this year as well with Abyss, and he's just one of those very special champs that I feel like every summoner should have for these really big pieces of content. So yeah, Aegon is just an absolute beast. And then my 8th rank 5 was Dr. Voodoo. I took him up at a time when I actually really needed a Havoc counter, and he was pretty good for that. And also I've always enjoyed Voodoo. There was the time when he was my favorite 4-star in the game. I've always just enjoyed his playstyle, his animations, and I still use him quite a bit today. He might actually be my second most used Mystic right now. I had a lot of fun with him in Variant 5, and yeah, I still really enjoy using him, and I just love his abilities and the way they all gel together. Just doesn't have immunities, but otherwise he's a very versatile champ. And yeah, still puts in a lot of work for me today in Alliance Quest. And then my 9th rank 5, funny enough, I said I needed a Havoc counter. And then my 9th rank 5 was, I think in October, I pulled Warlock from a featured 5-star crystal. And I was really happy to pull him, but I actually had no idea how good he was going to be before I pulled him. So yeah, as soon after I took him to rank 5, and I was like, yeah, no, this champ is just amazing. And at the time, he was still bugged, so he could do some crazy things by lowering all kinds of ability accuracy, not just offensive. And so he wasn't awakened at the time yet, but yeah, he just put in a lot of work for me, especially in the Act 6 Chapter 3, because it came out just before I took him up. And to this day, I still use him quite a bit here and there. Fights in Alliance War, I used him for that Havoc in Abyss. And yeah, just a great champ with so much utility. And then my 10th, now this was before I get to my 10th, my second rank 2 6-star was Nick Fury. I actually took him up to rank 2 before he was awakened in November, I believe. I said, okay, this champ is actually pretty useful with all his sig ability. I always run Quake, so it's going to be very nice to have that synergy. So I might as well take him to rank 2 as well, just so he can do more damage. And I did use him quite a lot in Act 6 Chapter 3 as an unawakened rank 2 6-star. So yeah, he's still putting a lot of work for me without his sig ability. And then a month later, my 10th rank 5, early December, Captain Marvel. I pulled her, and then I duped her the next week. So I was like, okay, I'm taking her to rank 5, 6-100, good prestige, and then she became my top champ for a time, and she just really helped sort of make my general questing a lot easier, especially in stuff like Act 6 Chapter 3, because her damage output was just really good for champs where you could stun. So I just used it for mostly for general questing, and I found it really fun to play. Goes well with my Nick Fury and Quake. That's my favorite Trinity in the game, so it was a very easy decision for me. And then my 11th rank 5, this is about mid-December, when I was still exploring Act 6 Chapter 3, I took up Emma Frost, mainly because I really needed a bleed immune champ who wasn't a robot. But also I just love Emma Frost, I enjoy her playstyle, I think she's very versatile as well, queen of immunities, good special damage when it crits. But yeah, she's got some very good utility that I really enjoy, and she's put in a lot of work for me, just being a utility queen. Then my 12th rank 5, I think this was the 1st of January 2020, was Stealth Suit Spider-Man. And I did take him up unawakened. He just blew me away. I was doing so many fights with him just for fun at the time, and after I used him to solo Abyss of Legends thing, I realized this champ is an absolute beast. Also did the champion boss with him for fun. I still enjoy playing with this guy. I don't use him as much as I used to. So on the old war map, I used to use him almost every other war, because he was really good for Path 4. And just for smashing things in general. But yeah, still really glad I have him, and I still use him here and there. And then my 13th rank 5 was Human Torch, who I pulled recently before I took him up to rank 5. Then Abyss of Legends came out, and that's just when I knew that I had to take him to rank 5, being one of the horsemen. Very unique champ, or at least his abilities are very unique. Really cool champ, I enjoy playing with him, just building those smolders and doing some nice incinerate damage. Yeah, he's putting a lot of work for me in later stuff in Act 6 and of course Abyss of Legends and in Alliance War. So yeah, really great champ, very useful. And then after I took him up, I did Abyss of Legends Part 1, pulled the tier 5 skill and used it on Nick Fury. So he was my very first rank 3, took him up on Awakened, mainly because I had expiring catalysts at the time and I figured I actually had no one better to use them on, and I knew I was going to awaken him eventually. But as a rank 3 6-star, you put in a lot of work for me unawakened, especially in Act 6 Chapter 4. So it was just really nice that I actually managed to awaken him after exploring Act 6. But yeah, I love Nick Fury, still my favorite 6-star in the game right now. So yeah, really happy that I have him, especially awakened now. And then my 14th rank 5 was Dr. Doom, and I remember on International Women's Day they had the boss rush. Then from the 5-star crystal I pulled a 5-star Doom. I was super chuffed about that. Awakened him, Sig 200 for prestige and everything, and he just did so much work for me in Act 6 Chapter 4. In fact, he was the only mystic that I needed for that. So yeah, and that pretty much just solidified his place in my roster, and in my opinion he is the best mystic champ as well, especially if you don't run suicides. So yeah, I absolutely love Doom. He is one of my favorite fictional villains. I was really happy that Kabam did such an incredible job on the character design with his animations and his abilities. Just a really amazing champ. Okay, and then my 15th rank 5 was Namor, who I pulled from the 5-star Nexus crystal after completing Act 6 Chapter 4. Then once again I awakened him, the class gem, Sig 200 for, well, not for prestige actually. Well, prestige was part of it, but the Sig ability turned out to be very clutch for quite a couple of stuff in Act 6 Chapter 4, such as that do you sting part, or just any scenario where you can reflect some annoying damage. And he also puts in some work for me in Alliance Quest, because he's good for stuff like Starburst, DJ, Thorns. So I don't use him as much as I used to when I was exploring Act 6, but I'm still really happy I have him for whenever I do need him. Okay, and then my 16th rank 5, and this way it sort of becomes a blur. This is now after exploring Act 6 Chapter 4. So now I had a lot of resources and I actually had to rank up a bunch of champs before some of these tier 5 basic and tier 2 alpha expire. So I believe I took up She-Hulk, Guillotine 2099, and who else was there? Man-Thing, around the same time. It could have been all on the same day or maybe in the same week. But yeah, so Guillotine 2099 was one of those champs that I took up. Like, I knew she was going to be a very good champ, but I just didn't know what I was going to use her for. And then soon after that, we got Flow Wars becoming the main sort of defense tactic, and yeah, her value just went up so much higher there. Also, she's pretty good for stuff like debuff immune, because she has some very nice damage potential. I tested her out in a bunch of stuff in Act 6 Chapter 4, and I can see her having a lot more value in the future, because she has pretty good utility and really great damage potential. So yeah, I'm very happy that I have her as a rank 5 5-star. Man-Thing was one of those champs I took up for fun at the time because I had expiring resources, but I felt that at the very least he will be a good defender for that time. So yeah, I do just enjoy playing Man-Thing. I find his animations very interesting. You know, the way he throws his limbs at you, applies postules and pops them. Like, it's actually quite disgusting when you think about it, but I don't know, it's weird, but I love it. And that heavy attack, the way he just splats all over you, and yeah, it's, I don't know, he's got some very unique animations, and they are quite grotesque, but I don't know, I just love it for some reason. And mainly, I just find the playstyle really fun, you know, where you just throw your special ones, and you drop your heavy attack. So yeah, just a fun champ in general. And some of the most fun I had in Variant 5 were the fights when I used him. Then there was She-Hulk as well, a champ who I had a rank 4 for a very long time, mainly because I just feel like she didn't really need the rank 5 at the time for me. Like, I wasn't really using her for stuff like Alliance War at the time, although I did use her in Abyss as a rank 4 on my first part, test her out. Then later on I realized that I'm probably going to use her in Abyss again and in Alliance War, so that's why I needed to be rank 5. But yeah, She-Hulk was just a flippin' beast of a champion. Insane damage potential, definitely one of the highest in the game. Some pretty good utility. She's a champ with slow debuff. Any champ with easy access to slow debuff is a useful champ in my opinion, so yeah. But She-Hulk has a lot more utility, and yeah, she's just very satisfying to use when you can stack up those theories and do some very nice damage, especially with the Mr. Fantastic synergy. Then let's go back to 6 stars, and still in May 2020, and at this stage I decided to take up Stealth Suit Spider-Man to rank 2 because I was actually going to need 2 of them, because I wanted to do another Abyss part and I wanted to use them in there, but I'll still need them for Alliance War, so I decided I'm going to take up my 6 star for Abyss and then keep my 5 star for Alliance War. And I do prefer using my 6 star now, even though his damage output is slightly lower than my 5 star since he's not awakened. I just love the adrenaline mechanic and it has saved me quite a few times, so that's why I mainly prefer the 6 star. Then I also took up Mr. Sinister for defense purposes as well. I really haven't played with him much. He's got some cool stuff going for him, some very unique utility. I just haven't had a need for him beyond defense yet. So yeah, I would like to have some more use for him. And then I also took up Void to rank 2. around the same time in May. Mainly because I had some expiring catalysts. I duped him from my 6-star Nexus crystal from Act 6 Exploration. It's just one of those champs that are just really useful to have in your back pocket. And I must say, to be honest, I actually have not used my 6-star Void for anything significant. Like, I've just used them for like easy general questing stuff to fill up slots in my team. But now I just place him for defense, so I would like to have more use for him, but I do prefer using Quake or Human Torch for those matchups where Void would also work. Okay, back to 5 stars, and what was I on? I think I said last was 18th. Okay, so then my 19th was Red Guardian, who I got from the Early Access bundle. I was really shocked to get him from that bundle, just opening 5 crystals, because the odds were pretty low, but yeah, I got pretty lucky. Awakened him with the Class Gem, took him to 6200. He is still my favorite champ released this year so far, and he's put in a lot of work for me, especially in Alliance War. But just the fact that he can't trigger buffs is a very unique ability which I can see having a lot more uses in the future when we do get more in-game content, such as Book 2 or Act 7. And also just enjoy playing with him, and he's got some very nice utility with the perfect block, the slow, trauma debuffs and all that stuff. Not being able to trigger buffs is huge. I feel like that's going to have a lot more uses in the future. Okay, and then my 20th rank 5, who was my 20th? I think it was Archangel, actually. Yeah, it must have been Archangel. I remember I duped Archangel a week after pulling him. I was super stoked about that, and I took him to rank 5 because I felt like he would have a lot more uses in Alliance War, especially with Stubborn becoming the more dominant defense tactic. And also he's aged fairly well this year because Kabam have barely released any champs that are immune to bleed and poison, so he can just melt almost all of them, and he just makes a lot of fights a lot easier. Okay, and then my 21st rank 5, actually let's skip back to 6 stars because I did take up my Mephisto to rank 2, mainly for defense since he's duped Sig 40, and then also took up Morningstar to rank 2 after I duped her on the July 4 opening. I also took up Cap Infinity War after I pulled him from July 4, and I would really love to dupe this guy because then I could actually rank 3 him very soon because I'm close to forming the tier 5 Science Catalyst. But yeah, I do have a generic Awakening Gem, and if I had to choose someone to use it on, it would probably be him. But I'm still just waiting for the dupe and also the tier 5 C because I really don't need him for anything right now, so I might as well just wait. Okay, back to 5 stars, and then I took up, as my 21st, I believe I took up Proxima. I pulled Proxima in June, then I duped her about a month later, and after that I took her straight to rank 5 because I absolutely love Proxima. She's actually one of my favorite cosmics to play around with. I just find it very satisfying to complete her missions and then having some insane special damage. It's kind of like a mini Grandmaster fighter in a way. So I just find it pretty fun to play around with. And she's got some pretty good utility. Like I've said, I've used her a lot in Alliance War for a lot of Stubborn Korgs. Doesn't matter what node it is. It could be on Mixmaster, Footloose, any of the mini bosses except for Hazardous Shift. She also counters Stunning Reflection with the ability accuracy reduction on parries. So yeah, very unique champ. I don't use her every day, but I just really enjoy using her. So I'll probably just upload a couple of Proxima Midnight gameplay, especially for Alliance War, because she handles Korg really well. Like that's one of my favorite matchups for her in Alliance War right now. Okay, and then my 22nd rank 5 was Ghost, who I only pulled last month after completing the first boss rush. Then I awakened her with the Class Gem, took her all the way to Sig 160 because I really do like that power gain on phasing, because the way I play Ghost is I try to maximize the amount of missed hits so I can gain more power by doing less hits. So yeah, I mean, what can I say about Ghost? Ghost is just like a game-breaking champ. Like in my opinion, she's the only champ who I'd put in the same tier as Quake. Like if I were to make a tier list, which I'll probably never do, it'd probably be Quake and Ghost in the top tier, and then, you know, all the other high-rated champs. But yeah, Ghost is just a phenomenal champ. I don't really have much use for her right now, but I'm sure when future content comes, she's going to put in a lot of work for me. Also really fun to use, and can do so much and make a lot of fights just so much easier. Ghost, in my opinion, is the best champ released over the past 3 years. Okay, and then my 23rd rank 5, who I took up just 2 days ago, was Magic. And she's still unawakened. I do have a gem for her, but I'm kind of just saving her because I might just dupe her from another Jewel Crystal or something like that, because I just don't really need her for anything right now. But if I were to do like a Flow War and I need her for certain fights in Alliance War, then I would awaken her and bring her to Alliance War then. But for now, she's still pretty good without a Sig ability, so I don't really use her for much right now, but she's just a very useful champ to have. Still the best power locker in the game, arguably the best power control champ in the game, and it's not available as a 6-star, so all the more reason to rank up the 5-star. And then there's the rank 3 Doom I got from the Abyss Nexus Mystic Crystal. And right now, we actually use him in Alliance War defense. I don't really play with him in Alliance War because my 5-star is pretty good for Alliance War anyway. So I actually feel like he's better utilized in defense because I do have a rank 5 Doom, which I can use on attack. But yeah, I've already spoken about Doom, so just having a slightly stronger Doom is just even better. And having 2 Dooms is also quite nice. And despite having a rank 3 6-star Doom, my 5-star is still very useful, even when there isn't Alliance War. Okay, now let me show you the rest of my 5-stars. Tempted to rank up Wasp because I have the rank up gem for her, or I could use it on Red Hulk because he might be pretty useful in war for that hazardous shift node in particular. Also Bloodstone I took up to rank 4 2 days ago as well. She's an interesting one. Not sure if I'll rank 5 her anytime soon because I don't have much use for her, but yeah, she's quite an interesting one, so yeah, I might just open up to using her more. Sentinel is also pretty cool. The only thing is I got already 2 rank 5 robots, so don't really have much use for him right now. So Medusa I took up to rank 4 as well, just 2 days ago with the class gem. Might rank 5 her, although I would like to dupe her first, but she still doesn't really need it. It's just more damage and that whole auto block safety net. Mysterio is an interesting one as well, but I do have a 6-star, so I'd rather invest in that one. Havoc is cool. Venom, Red Hulk, Star-Lord, Rogue, Colossus. I would just love to dupe Colossus, honestly, then I'll rank 5 him. Spider-Gwen also kind of similar. I'd love to dupe her as well because I really just find her fun to play and she's a good champ, you know, good damage, good utility. Sunspot pretty similar too, just don't have much use for him right now, but perhaps in the near future. Gwenpool recently took up. I might use a variant gem on her as well. Magneto could do the same because I do have the mutant gem for variant. Who else? Mr. Fantastic, if I could dupe him, maybe I'll invest in him as well because he does really need the SIG levels. Mojo's pretty cool. Hulkbuster, might use a variant gem on him as well. Who else can I see myself ranking up anytime soon? Vision Arcus, also quite interesting. Iceman, I could use a variant gem on him as well. So that'll be the 3rd 2017th gem. And I think that's about it. Omega Red is an interesting one. I've never really been a huge fan of Omega Red, but if I were to dupe him, I'll probably rank him up because he is a very strong champ, especially with suicides or any bleed nodes. And he's got that synergy with Colossus as well. And I also don't rank up or level up all my 5-star champs just because I want to save gold and resources. So yeah, that's why I have a lot of these champs that are still rank 1 level 1. Squirrel Gold pulled it last week. So yeah, still quite a few good champs that are missing, such as Clairvoyant, Cap Infinity War. Deadly Origins Black Widow would also be interesting. Dragon Man might have some potential. We'll see soon enough. Guardian, I think is pretty solid. Wouldn't mind a 5-star version. Hitmonkey, Killmonger, I have a 6-star. Longshot, would love a 5-star Nick Fury still, despite having a duped 6-star. Sorcerer Supreme, would also love the Sorcerer Supreme. Thing as well. And Tigra, she's just more for fun. But yeah, now let's move on to the 6-stars. Got 2 rank 3s and 7 rank 2s. Could see myself taking up Gladiator Hulk, Mysterio, Massacre if I decide to ever use Domino Trinity a bit more. Hood if I really get into the Ghost Trinity. Killmonger if I could dupe and maybe get a few more SIG levels. Magneto, I might just rank 3 him because I do have the tier 5 mutant, so yeah, we'll see how the buff goes. But I probably will rank 3 him unawakened after the buff goes live. Namor, though he's not duped, and I have a maxed 5-star. Same with Domino. Also, I just don't really use it that much, so yeah, I'll probably take up Magneto. And yeah, that's about it for champions. And I'm gonna go into my inventory now just to show you all my items and catalysts. Okay, in terms of basic, I do have quite a few. I often do have a lot of tier 5 basic and tier 2 alpha. I'm a bit low on tier 2 alpha right now because I just took up a couple of champs recently, such as Magic, and a few more rank 4s. Then in terms of tier 5 class, so I'm very close to forming a 2nd Cosmic. So I'd really love a Captain Marvel. I'd probably also take up Corvus as well, because I would rank 3 both of them unawakened. This will probably go to Magneto. This will probably go to Clairvoyant. or maybe Sorcerer if I were to pull her first. Close to this one, which would likely go to Cap. And yeah, that's about it for the tier 5s, and then we can just go back into the items. And I generally do keep a healthy amount of signature stones and boosts. So yeah, I bought this Awakening Gem just a few hours ago for 2000 units, because I figured maybe I'll just use it on Colossus and then rank 5 them. I still have 2 generic 5-star gems and a generic 6-star gem. So I'm saving those for champs who really need them, or champs that are really hard to awaken. But the champ has to be really useful though. Okay, then I have this, who right now it's probably likely go to Spider-Gwen, or I'll probably wait for Cap or Thing. This I'll probably use on Colossus. And then I have this, who I'll probably use on Magic. Got a decent amount of boosts. 2 platinum pool parts. These are the variant gems from variant 5, so 2017 champs. Got a very good amount of 5-star signature stones. Even have a couple in the stash, mainly because of this Herald event. Got a decent amount of 6-star stones as well, thanks to Abyss Exploration and the July 4 deals. And yeah, I got a bunch of rank up gems as well. Some of these are variant gems as well, such as these. Then the rest are just standard rank up gems. So yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for the account tour. Oh, I know some of you are probably wondering how much have I spent in this game, and to be honest, I can't give you an accurate amount just because I haven't really been keeping track of it since last year. But I can tell you that I only really started spending in 2019. That was the first year where I got the July 4 deal and Black Friday deals, although I just got the Odins from that. And those are the only times I buy Odins or a stack of units. It's July 4 and Black Friday or that Cyber weekend. Otherwise, then my monthly expenses for this game, it's the Sigil and the $5 unit daily card. I've been getting that for the last 370 days. And then I did get the early access bundle for Red Guardian and Doctor Doom last year. So yeah, just that unit daily card and playing the game, collecting rewards here and there just keeps my units up to date. Because I'm also just generally good at saving units, especially because I don't really use a lot of units when I'm clearing content. And I don't buy Cavalier Crystals, I prefer to save my units for clearing content or deals with guaranteed value. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much for 8,000 subscribers. I never imagined I'd reach this milestone in 13 months of doing YouTube, but it's been a great journey. Looking forward to the future, seeing where it goes, and just putting out more content out there.